Capricorn, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will take you, I think it's the 15th to the 22nd, and I'm going to have to do quite a lot of clarifying for this reading, Capricorn, so bear with me, okay? You have got quite an interesting week. There's 4 cards this week about what I call the cards of, you know, sometimes, I think last week you got the Ace of Wands, didn't you? About action. This week is the polar opposite, okay? It's about surrendering to the mystery, okay? That's the way life works. We're either in action or we're in retreat and waiting for the next call to action. I am going to clarify quite a lot of your cards, okay? So what lies behind you is the King of Pentacles, so you're in your own element. The negative side of this King of Pentacles, I have to say it, is a very unbudging energy, quite stubborn, very, very slow to change. The positive is all those positive aspects of being an earth sign: perseverance, steadfastness, stability, okay? Anyhow, give me a minute. I'm going to keep clarifying because your gift is the 4 of Swords, okay? The 4 of Swords is a card about retreat. It's a card about rest and trying to gain some mental peace. It is a healing card. A lot of you can't bear hearing that word. That's part of a process here, okay? The 4 of Swords is a card of retreat and rest. Some of you are really, really tired, okay? Because your challenge is the 3 of Swords. So, first of all, traditional meaning of this card, which I always read, is being torn between 2 people, okay? Or on another level, there's some heartache going on here. Maybe there's been a relationship ending, some sort of separation has gone on, and this is your challenge. But don't forget, the gift is the healing card, which means you're going inwards to heal this 3 of Swords. And I'm going to clarify this for you. Yeah, there's a message of the 7 of Wands again, which is definitely a card about perseverance. But I cannot help getting a feeling here, Capricorn, of the need to protect your inner world a little bit, to take a step back. Because there's nothing more valuable in this world than our own selves. And maybe some of you haven't recognised that, and you've given yourself away and you haven't valued yourself. I think this message might be for a couple of people, okay? Because the 7 of Wands to me is a card about taking a step back, resting in order to find that state of preciousness again. I'm going to keep clarifying. So how people are showing up for you is the Moon card, which is about the unknown. It's about being in the mystery. There's a little bit of a lack of clarity here, okay, because the Moon card represents nighttime. So obviously it's the sun that brings illumination, that brings clarity. When you're in the moon, you're in a state of uncertainty, and maybe that's where the 3 of Swords is a challenge for you. There might be a bit of a separation going on between you and someone that you love. I think some of you have undervalued yourself horrendously by the looks of it. And there's a need to go inside and remind yourself of your value and of your worth, okay? I will clarify. Now, the overall energy is the 10 of Swords. Now, I'm one of these readers who love the 10 of Swords because to me, the Ten of Swords is an action card, okay? To understand the card, look at the card before. The card before is anxiety and fear and a very, very restrictive life force. To get out of the 9, we need to move to the 10, okay? Which is completing stuff. It's the end of something, so something new can begin. Because there's your Page of Cups, okay? So we need to understand how life works in order to understand the Ten of Swords, because it's the ending of something, but so something new can begin. And what the Ten of Swords is birthing is one of my favourite cards, this beautiful Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is the heart restoring itself, yeah? Do you remember your heart before all the damage happened? That state of innocence and of purity, that is a Page of Cups. And what covers it is all the damage, all the terrible messages we receive, which covers up our beautiful sense of joy, okay? Now bear with me, because the outcome is the Hanged Man, and you're like, oh my God, I'm still in this mystery. There's no way around it. You are. There's a sense of being in a huge passageway. Now, passageways are portals for new beginnings. You don't get the new beginning without going through this passageway. And I think you're in the middle of a huge rebirth, a huge portal into a new world. I want to ask what comes after this Hanged Man. Okay, yeah, exactly, the Fool. But you don't get there unless we embrace being in these dark tunnels, in these places of mystery. Now, a lot of readers regard these cards as quite negative cards, but when you understand that you have to go through a passageway in order to move to the new beginning, which is the Page of Cups and the Fool, then these cards are not negative. They're the most blessed cards you can have. I've got a feeling there's been a chronic low sense of self-esteem and self-value, because the Seven of Wands for me is about restoring a sense of worth. And maybe some of your self-esteem has been on the ground with that Three of Swords. But you know, every single one of us partake in situations that hurt us until we learn better. And the only way to learn better is to embrace these periods of being in the unknown, of being in healing, in order to rebirth ourselves as the Fool, because our Fool's our true home, and the Page of Cups is our true home. It's that sense of being before everything that happens to us happens. And this is where you're returning to, but you don't get there unless you start to value your inner world, your sense of self, as the most valuable thing in the world, and walk away from all people and places that do not value you back, okay? Now, this is one of these readings that are quite a challenge, but hugely exciting, okay? And your additional message was message in a bottle, okay? This is about receiving guidance. If any of you need extra support, you reach out for it. You get the support and the help that you need. Message in a bottle is also about learning to trust your intuition, because water is the intuitive part of our nature. We're always led and we're always guided. There's definitely a sense, Capricorn, that you're in, it's like you've shut one door and you're not quite in the new one yet. And that is a hugely difficult place to be, and it's why most people avoid it. And it's why most people stay in situations they're not happy in, because they don't want to go through it. So you're going to have to use the power of your element to get you through it. There's no fighting, there's no quarreling, there's no death card. There's just a quiet wanting to start your life afresh, with honouring your self-value and your self-worth, and walking away from everything that doesn't do it for you anymore. I will clarify this Three of Swords. Why is the Three of Swords the challenge? Yeah, it's with the Eight of Cups. Something isn't doing this for you anymore. So again, this is a journey into the night. The Moon card, the Hanged Man, in order to get these beautiful new cards. What a hugely exciting reading. Sorry, Capricorn, I'm quite like, oh my gosh. It's because the Eight of Cups is a spiritual search. It's dressed in purple and gold. It's what fulfills me. What does my spirit long for? This is also about personal self-esteem. That's how I read the Seven of Wands card, and honouring who you are, and you know what, cutting and walking away from anything or anyone who doesn't honour you back, and then see how the world begins to change. Okay, Capricorn, I'd love to know how this is playing out for you. Intriguing reading. And personally, keep walking. Just keep walking towards that beautiful card that's pulling you forward, because it's a new beginning that's pulling you forward, okay? Renewal of the heart, the Fool, all these exciting new potentials. Okay, Capricorn, loads of love. Bye.